We have here some vegan feta cheese.
Yes, made of base. What's the base?
Don't know.
Welcome to Eat Well. I'm Wiesel.
And I'm Jack.
We're doing plant-based cuisine that's comforting to eat.
We make it accessible and easy to make at home, like we are. Join us.
So what are we doing now?
So this time we're going to make a vegan pot roast. So we're going to have aubergine and onion. That's going to be the real meat of this dish.
Aubergine or eggplant?
Depends where you're from. So we're going to caramelize some red onions. So we'll get these chopped just nice and roughly for this.
Does it have to be red? Could it be white?
It doesn't. I think red works quite well.
Also shallots?
Shallots work as well. We're going to have some balsamic in there as well. So I think it works well with the red onion.
Because it's sweeter?
Yeah, that's right. So just nice and rough with that. So I've got some oil warming on the stove. So
Olive oil?
Yeah. And I'm going to drop those in.
With Jack, it's always olive oil.
Always
Why do I even ask?
And then for that caramelization, we need some sugar. For this one, we're going to use coconut sugar.
Coconut sugar, low glycemic, and I love how coconut sugar is generally less sweet than say raw cane or muscovado, and I love the color. See, it's not too dark. Unlike if you use a muscovado sugar, that it's too dark.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a little, it's really more neutral in flavor compared to other whole sugars.
Of course, it's better for the environment as well, right?
Yes.
There we go. So on a medium to high heat, it's going to turn into a nice caramel. Going to get a lovely flavour to those onions. And while that's happening, we've chopped some mushrooms and aubergines, nice and rough again. The herbs that we're going to use this time, I've got some dried thyme, and I'm going to grab some rosemary.
Does it have to be dried?
It can be dried or fresh. With rosemary, I really prefer fresh.
Why?
More intense flavour, and a little trick just to get that out is give it a little twist. You get that smell. My favourite.
You don't bruise it, just twist it?
Just twist, yeah, nice and light. Yeah. So, got those caramelizing away. Once they're nice and coated in that syrup that we've got going, we can reduce the heat down to a low heat. Drop in our herbs.
Interesting how you're doing the herbs ahead of the other.
I think at this stage, getting the flavour into the onions, that base, is really where I'm coming from with this one. So the onions are nice and soft now. We've got that on a low heat. At this point, we're going to drop in our mushrooms. Which mushrooms are these, Wiesel?
That's a button mushroom that you chose. Does it matter? Could I use shiitake maybe?
Shiitake works. Portobello is really nice as well, if you can get them.
You want your garlic?
Yeah, drop it in.
Why did we add the garlic after the mushroom?
So with the garlic, when it's whole, obviously it holds its structure more. Yeah. It's a more softer heat through it. It's not so strong throughout the whole dish. I really want to get that caramel flavour.
So it's just a hint.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's more of the onion that's the star.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. And once we've got our mushrooms nice and coated, we can drop in our aubergine. This is another really quick dish. You can drop everything in. Once we've got our aubergine in there, it's going to cook down, get nice and soft. Once everything's reduced a little bit, we're going to drop in some balsamic glaze. You can use balsamic vinegar, but the glaze has got a little bit of sweetness to it, and you can control the flavour a little easier.
And it's thicker, more syrupy.
Right. Yeah. So let's drop some of that in now. So again, we're going to let that reduce a little bit more, and to add a little bit of liquid and that base flavour, of course, we've got.
Or stock.
Yeah. Okay, so we let everything soften, nice and cooked, absorb all of that flavour, and especially the balsamic flavouring.
How do you know when it's cooked? Is it brown, wilted?
Yeah, so the
Soft.
mushrooms are going to get nice and brown and have that caramelised look. The aubergine will be very soft to touch, almost break on your spoon.
Oh, so kind of like a mush.
Yeah, really kind of reduce that. It's nice and hearty like that. And controlling your liquid, you don't want to have it too loose, too liquidy, but you can always add a little bit more of our classic stock if you need
But
to.
I love how Jack is using stock instead of oil. It's just less calories and it's still as hearty and more flavor, more umami, you know?
True. And like you said before, the nutrition that's in there.
Yes, that's all the nutrition. And there we have it.
Nice. Everything is combined. The flavor's really rich. The color's really rich. Everything's a nice dark hues. So we're going to add a little bit of bright color with that, and the benefits of spinach.
Iron.
Drop that in. Just let that wilt off the heat. Everything's off the heat now. It's going to wilt nicely. And then my favorite part.
Adds bright green in it.
We have here some vegan feta cheese.
Yes, made of base. What's the base?
Don't know.
It could be cashew, it could be soy. Now we never know.
There we go. So that's going to melt away nice, even off the heat. That residual
you want me
heat.
to melt it? Just
Yeah,
like roll
give it
it
a nice
out.
stir. Yeah. So the spinach is going to wilt. The cheese is going to melt, and then there's a little bit of a garnish. We're going to add some
Toasted shallots for that crunch. Oh, this is beautiful. It's like salad, only better.
So then to finish it off, a little more of my favorite balsamic glaze.
Yes.
And then again for a bit more good fats.
Walnut and texture and crunch.
Yeah, that's right.
You maybe add more toasted shallots later.
Yeah, could do.
Perfect.
And there we have it.